Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of HBCU, the podcast, the show, whatever you want it to be.
Okay, so we're introducing something new. Obviously we do regular episode topics, confessions, reactions, shorts. We wanted to introduce a new series, and it's called Prove It or Lose It. Basically, it's giving us each individually an opportunity to get our lawyer on and to prove a controversial topic or opinion that we might have that might ruffle some feathers or might have people say, what the hell? But they have this platform to try to prove to us and to y'all that it's a reasonable take. If they do that, then they prove that it's valid. If not, then we're going to let them know, yeah, you got to lose that shit, buddy. So
can we we're automatically against whoever says it, right?
Yes. So you're basically, the topic has to be something that naturally is going to be disagreed upon, and it's your duty to change each other's minds. So I'm going first. This is the first episode of this, so of course I'm gonna start it off. And I have a doozy, because the more I've thought about it recently and watching reruns and everything, the more I've come to the conclusion that Living Single is the Black sitcom GOAT. It is the GOATed Black sitcom to me.
Wait,
I think Living Single is the greatest Black sitcom ever.
Oh, Hashim, you got this one because I never watched that.
You've never seen Living Single?
I don't disagree with you, Bobby. That's the thing.
Really?
Oh my God! I guess I seen it, but I never sat down and watched it. Like I didn't watch a lot of sitcoms, period. But that one, I watched Fresh Prince, Martin, Jamie Foxx, all more than that. So I don't know nothing about it.
You still could debate. I'll go with the Fresh Prince, honestly.
I can't.
I'll go with Fresh Prince just
okay.
Because I really think that probably could be a top one because it has lessons, right? Will learning, Carlton learning.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley.
You shaky already.
But you do see lessons within episodes and responsibilities, and there's a story behind it. Although there's comedy, there's story behind it. Will's losing it, doesn't have his father,
God, the hell with him! How come he don't want me, man?
Question then. Wait, so I have a question for both of y'all to make this easier. Especially for you, Bobby, since you brought this up. Otherwise, I think this should be a two-parter. You better find another topic because this one is lost on me. But take what you said, Hashim, that lesson, right? One of the most home-hitting episodes was the one with his dad. Okay, cool. Boom, right there. What's an episode from Living Single that matches or supersedes that? I think that's where it comes down to, because they both have comedy. Maybe the humor is subjective, but what these sitcoms can bring to the table to stand out, Will Smith being that episode, is a testament, and I think a better kind of way to debate which is better or a factor. So that's my question for y'all. Otherwise, yeah.
I will say that from an emotional standpoint, Living Single does not have a moment as massive and as impactful on its own as the Will Smith father, Why He Don't Love Me, Man. Even to a lesser degree, Will getting shot, sacrificing his body for Carlton. Living Single does not have any emotional moment that matches either one of those. That's fair. However, I have several reasons why I feel this way still about Living Single being the GOAT Black sitcom. For one, the theme song. We are living.
Shut up!
The theme song is legendary, bro. You can't tell me there's a theme song that is better as an actual theme song. There's other theme songs, yes, that are more known. Obviously, Fresh Prince, Martin had different versions. But Living Single as an actual song, like when you hear that, shit is about to get real, bro. Off rip, theme song. You going into the show excited, looking forward to whatever the episode's going to be. So that's a good starting point right there, right? Cool. Part two.
Can I say something on your part one? As this conversation going on, I'm it's going more and more towards Fresh Prince based off your voice. Like I agree with you at first.
I didn't get into the crux of my
you said theme song. You hear the beat.
Theme song is probably the weakest points you could have brought up.
Second part, the characters, the diversity of the characters. So of course it's a 90s sitcom, so it has to have the quintessential dumb characters because they have to play that role. And they had two of them with Overton and Khadijah's cousin. What was her name?
Wow, you can't remember the own number one show characters. That's crazy.
No, don't do that. Kim Coles, the cousin of Queen Latifah's character.
But yeah,
she was. They were both the stupid characters. But even though at certain points it could be annoying, it was also very wholesome. It was a different type of dumb character compared to a Hillary and Fresh Prince who had no value outside of being dumb. At least with Overton and Sinclair. What?
No, she was going to say something. I was going to say, wait, let Bobby finish. Keep going.
Oh, okay. At least with Overton and Sinclair, there's a wholesomeness to them. They're just so radiant and positivity that they naturally are, they're naive. They're more so naive than dumb. I don't even think they're dumb characters. I just think they're overly naive and overly positive because they naturally just think the best of people. And that's a great trait to have. Hillary, on the other hand, she's just stupid just to be stupid, bro. I'm sorry. Respect to Hillary, but she's just there. On top of that, Max and Kyle, come on now. You can't name me. I don't know too many shows, especially Black sitcoms, that have a better chemistry dynamic throughout an entire series, like season to season, than Max and Kyle. The back and forth banter back and forth with each other, but you can tell they always had an underlying passion for each other. And the jokes was hitting too. Like they wasn't just throwing barbs just because. It was funny, but it was also lending them to become closer with each other. And it got to a point where they couldn't deny the love that they have for each other. And guess what? That shit happens in real life. So that's a great dynamic of the show because that keeps you on your heels regularly, right?
I will give you. I would say the characters in Living Single, especially the ditzy ones, definitely had more of a backstory than like Hillary.
Thank you.
Or like the characters were more developed, but as in dynamic in the entire sitcom, Black sitcoms, there's Martin and Pam.
That's one dynamic. That's the main dynamic on that show. That's the main dynamic is Martin and Pam.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah.
Okay. On Living Single, there's multiple dynamics. There's Khadijah being the older cousin and the boss of Sinclair while trying to look and protect over her. Really protect over the whole group.
Pause. Quality, not quantity, my friend. That's the thing. Because you're saying all this, and I'm thinking it's quality over quantity. If the whole part of Martin is Martin and Pam, right? Because that's their exclusive relationship. Not everyone has to be all bickering and all this, that, and third, back and forth. That's one character interaction dynamic. Then say Martin and Shaniqua or Shanae or some shit.
I'm not gonna.
No.
I'm not gonna.
No.
Shanae's not gonna.
No. Which part of no don't you understand? The N or the O? Oh, I forgot. You dropped out in kindergarten. Excuse me.
Why do we have to be bothered with this stupid girl?
What did you say? What did you say?
Go for it. Whatever. Same shit. Same ghetto shit. But anyways, there's different dynamics. If there was so much of the same dynamic, it'd be stale. Which is why I'm not saying like if I had to rate my Black sitcoms, I just have Fresh Prince and Martin on the same level, different ways. But Fresh Prince, Will is, I'd say, the centerpiece of the interactions. He goes back and forth with Carlton in a good way. They chime in on the same jokes together. They have their psychological differences or social societal differences, but they somehow still come together. Then there's him and Uncle Phil, where Phil's like strict rich dad, but somehow surprisingly he's not the uptight, like dismissive father. He treats Will like a son. Sometimes he does show his little bougie moments, but it's for comedy. It's very, again, that show it takes the usual sitcom stuff and then kind of flips it on its head. Kind of, I hate using this phrase, subverts your expectations. So I think that's where Fresh Prince strength lies, subverting the expectations. Yes, it's a sitcom, there's comedy, blah, 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 there's bickering, there's, I guess, slapstick humor, but the fact that, especially for this show, that it really emphasizes family in a way, gives it more oomph, gives it more.
But here's the thing, though. But I feel what you're saying, right? But here's my counterpoint.
Is that all your points, though, Bo? I think we should hear all your points first.
No, I like on a point and then we counteract and then point.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm staying. I'm responding to what you just said about the family part, right? Mm-hmm. So the family dynamic of Fresh Prince is endearing, but it's also a little scattered because a lot of the characters are doing things like in certain like sectors. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, they have their family group moments, but oftentimes it's the dynamic of Uncle Phil and Will and Carlton, Ashley doing her own thing. Sometimes with Hillary doing her own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just it's not like a Family Matters. Like a Family Matters, I could see you saying like, oh, the family dynamic and them all kind of like having this enthralling relationship with each other is so wholesome and is so inviting, right? Fresh Prince, it has that to a certain degree, but not like that.
It's the thing, though. It's different. In real life, though, your family still do their own things. It's not the whole family every moment of the night.
I know, but I'm just saying, Family Matters, I feel like can apply more to what you're saying. I think Fresh Prince is a little bit less linear in terms of like a lot of the characters, the main characters do their own thing for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Like, no, it is. It's healthy. It's healthy in terms of a relationship sense. I'm just saying, in regards to what you said and what you emphasize is like, so why you love the show so much? And I could counter that point with Living Single shows the amazingness of friendship, which goes into my next point. I love the fact that these characters that was on Living Single showed a different dynamic of Black characters, because you have a bunch of, let's say 20s, late 20s people, Black people in New York City who are all like have this close bond and friendship and living on their own. They're not like they're not mooching off of their family, they're not mooching off of each other. They just have a great friendship. They work in different places, but they still have such a close bond to where they're around each other all the time. Look at all their jobs. For example, Kyle's is a stockbroker. Max, she's a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Maxine Shaw, attorney at law. You know what I'm saying? Overton, handyman. St. Clair, she's the manager at Khadijah, who runs a magazine. You know what I'm saying? Regine, she works at a boutique. They all do these positive things, and they don't play into negative stereotypes like we see even in some legendary Black sitcoms. And that to me is such a healthy alternative way to show young Black people who can have personality but still be like positive, even in their encouragements of each other, and when they talk about each other's jobs, their relationships with each other and with different people. That's healthy as fuck, bro. How many other Black sitcoms, even the ones that we love, show that type of dynamic, especially from young Black creative people? It's not that many. Martin does?
Martin has his own.
I love Martin,
but
Martin I love Martin, bro, but Martin do have some stereotypes. It's still legendary. I'm just saying though, let's keep it real. Does it not?
They do. I'm not saying they don't. They do.
So that's what I'm saying. The positive aspect of Living Single it's such a refreshing light because like even like Family Matters or Fresh Prince, right? The family dynamic of it is great, but it's also kind of a conservative show. You know what I'm saying? They kind of, in some aspects, like they look down upon like acting a certain way or being a certain way that might
No, they
be.
don't. Fresh Prince definitely does not. I mean,
They don't.
They do, but
Carlton?
they make it a lesson where this is not what you perceive me to be. They have many instances of that, like when people challenge Carlton's blackness, and then Will even defends him for that. It's a social message. It's a social commentary.
No, of course,
it's gonna happen.
Absolutely. But it's still, but at its core though, it's that show, Family Matters, is still a conservative show. Well,
I wouldn't say conservative. I wouldn't say conservative because again, that's a wealthy black family. That's a wealthy black family. Off of rip, that's not conservative.
How?
How's that conservative? How's that conservative? Showing a black family that's in a rich setting, doing all well for themselves. How is
they're wealthy, but they're also living in a majority white neighborhood. All the I'm okay.
Wait, hold up. Are they gonna be rich and living in a black neighborhood, like a predominantly black neighborhood that's ghetto or something? I'm confused. I'm really confused.
Why? Okay, again, why does the black neighborhood have to be ghetto? You're proving my point. Living Single, you saw a bunch of black characters, black neighbors, all types of shit. Who was acting ghetto in that show? Who was acting?
I didn't watch the show, so Hashim has to help me there. But like, again, I would say it's not so much as conservative. The idea of a black family that's wealthy, this is like, I think that would be
when I say conservative, I mean conservative views, conservative outlooks. You know what I'm saying? They even mentioned being on black families back then. Times. Huh?
I don't think.
Go ahead, Hashim.
I was gonna say I don't think Fresh Prince or Will was perceived as conservative. You can say that.
No, I'm not talking about Will. I'm not talking about Will specifically. Will was the most like non-conservative. I'm talking about the family in large.
Well, I say that you could say that in the beginning, but after Will got there, which is the beginning of the damn show, I think he started like rubbing off on them. Like Ashley's definitely not. I don't think she's conservative, really.
Uncle Phil, who's a judge, who's trying to get into politics.
He's not conservative,
bro.
Uncle Phil was basically. Uncle Phil basically is like, when I think of Uncle Phil, he been through it and then he got himself out of it, but it still stayed in. He didn't let it change him. He didn't let the wealth change him. He's still a good, honest man that believes in hard work for the black man.
And he also looked at Will so many times looked at Will some type of way for the way that he was acting as well. So he was.
I don't think he looked.
And he called him out on it.
Yeah, it's more so.
But that's what I'm saying though. So I'm not, when I say conservative, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying he did not like aspects of Will's personality and the way that Will carried himself, in regards to how he dressed, how he spoke in front of a company, different things like that. I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, but let's not act like that's not a conservative viewpoint from someone like him who's also in a political position.
But guess what? That's real life then.
His kids are eating off of his wealth because of what he's doing, what he's done for his life.
But again, that's real life. I'm
not saying it's not. I'm just saying this is my point with Living Single. It's given in an alternative landscape of something that we haven't seen before that point. We never seen a show like that. And that goes into my next point. The impact of Living Single. Because Friends started because of Living Single.
Who cares about Friends?
Bro, you can say that for us. You can say that for us, but I promise you, there's so many people who thinks Friends is one of the greatest shows of all time. I promise you. Even some black people. I promise you. I'm not one of those people.
Wrong.
Listen, I'm not one of those people, but listen, I'm just, from an objective perspective, there are plenty of people that look at Friends as one of the greatest sitcoms ever, and they are a direct derivative of Living Single. That's motherfucking impact. That's impact. How?
Friends is just the white version of Living Single.
So is that not a derivative?
That's just them biting off of them. That's
So,
not. That's
okay.
not.
Why are they biting off of them? Why are they biting off of them?
Did they give Living Single credit? Did they say, "Oh yeah, most of our ideas came from
Why
Living Single"?
So you think a white dominated show?
Rotate, by the way, rotate.
You think a white dominated show that came after the fact is going to publicly give credit and credence to the idea of the show coming from a show that was president of it, that was a black dominated show?
If they didn't, you can't say it really impacted.
Bro,
you're saying it impact.
Themselves said that.
You're saying it impacted because they created another show that people view as really, really good. What impact did it have on you as a person as well?
I've said what impact it had on me. It showed, because first of all, I didn't grow up watching Living Single. I grew up throughout my life watching Martin, The Fresh Prince, Jamie Foxx show, Wayne's Brothers, the shows that get put on the highest point, as they should. This is not me to disrespect. I love all of those shows. This is just me setting a different perspective. I didn't start watching Living Single until like 2-3 years ago when they started showing them on reruns. And at first I was like, because I heard about the show, but I was like, okay, I'm trying to get into it, boom, boom, boom. The more I started watching it and started really like appreciating the show, I was like, damn, like this is an incredible show for what it's displaying, for the entertainment value of it, the consistency, and the dynamic of all of the characters. And all of the characters have their own personality. Like, you can do an episode on one specific person and they can carry the whole episode just off of whatever their backstory is, their background, whatever their personality is, whatever their occupation is. They can carry that on their own. A lot of these shows are very top heavy, as great as they are. If you take a couple people off screen for majority of the episodes might not hit the same way. That does not apply to Living Single. That matters. Does it not?
Bobby, wait, hold on, Hashim. So in the case of like, again, well, Fresh Prince and Martin. Fresh Prince is about Will moved from the ghetto to his wealthy home. It's life in Bel Air, his life.
Yes.
Martin, his name's in the damn title. You can't have them sidelined and expect the show to still, like, it's about them. It has to be about them. If you take them out, I
understand that, but that also means that you're relying on them to bring a lot of the show out.
It's the characters. What do you expect?
Okay, Living Single, Queen Latifah is clearly the biggest star on Living Single. We knew that then, and she's remained that after the fact. But the show is not carried by her. She's the main character, and there could be episodes where she isn't even the third or fourth main important piece or storyline, and the show is still entertaining, it's still engaging. It's still what? Huh?
I don't think that would still.
Okay, well, this is my argument. So
right. I don't think that would overall make it a better sitcom, a black sitcom, than the other shows.
If it has, to me, I don't know why it wouldn't be if it has more versatility.
Just because it has more versatility doesn't make it better.
You could argue and say that, because of that, I guess Queen Latifah's main character is not interesting versus Will, who can carry it because he's the main character. It's a compelling main character. Her as a main character is not that compelling. If you're telling me that she can't carry her own show, that means her main character is probably not interesting enough.
The main character should never be carrying a show.
Oh, fuck kind of logic is that?
Yeah, that's crazy, Bobby. That was crazy.
You reminding me of certain anime fans. You reminding me of anime fans that piss me off, bro. Low key, you're reminding me of anime fans. Go ahead.
What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
For whatever reason, I don't know. You make a story, you make a main character who pushes the main story, who meets these characters. You're literally the eyes. They are your eyes, ears, nose, touch in this world. Why the fuck should it not rely on the main perspective of this world you're in? Oh no, the side characters, this, that, They're side characters. There's
Hashim.
there's
Hashim.
side pieces. You have a whole plate. You have a dinner plate. You have your main dish. You got your side dishes. If the main dish is trash and the side's better, that's not good.
Bitch, you still gonna eat the sides. What do you mean? If
But the main dish you're looking forward to that was heavily promoted, it's trash.
Bro, if you got chicken as the main course, but you got mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, collard greens, and the sides are hidden, even if that chicken is mid, you still gonna eat the sides. You still gonna be like, damn, that's a good plate. I wish that chicken wasn't mid though.
I wouldn't say that's a good plate. I wouldn't say that's a good plate.
No,
I wouldn't say that's a good plate.
It's called the main dish for a reason.
Hashim, me and you have literally done not one but 2 episodes on Insecure, did we not?
Oh yeah, that's it.
Okay, you tell me Issa carried the show, or was it Issa, Molly, Lawrence?
Well, that's another show that's it's not a sitcom, but it's another show that's
it's a series.
Yeah, I said that's another show that's, like you said, it's versatile, where you can focus on one character, which it did focus on one character per episode at a time, right?
And did we not applaud the show throughout both of our episodes and reviews of the show? Did we not applaud it for that reason? It wasn't just about Issa. When you have a show, listen, I get what you're saying, Wale. Yes, when a show is named after a character, or it's
not even named after a character. It's just you're the established main character, the lens of the damn world.
I get what you're saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I get what you mean. It's named after a character. It's built around a character. You have this main character that's the superstar. They are the foundation of the show. Yes. But if you have 5, 6 motherfucking seasons and you are predominantly looking at the scope of this character 85, 90% of the time as like the main point all the time, it's going to make the show stale or repetitive after a while. Living Single, they have multiple people that they could put a lens on. They could put a lens on Max by herself. They could put a lens on Kyle by himself. They could put a lens on both of them by themselves. They could put a lens on Regine and her dynamic with her mom by herself. They could put a lens on Overton and his relationship with St. Clair by themselves. It does not mean Queen Latifah is a bad character. It doesn't mean Khadijah is a bad character. She is still the main character. She still is running Flavor. She's running her own magazine. She still is the leader of the group. They follow what she says, basically. She's the woman of the show, but she's not carrying the show. You're not overly relying on her. That makes the show more fleshed out. That's why the show doesn't get stale episode to episode, because you don't have to worry about just focusing on her. You can't tell me that versatility doesn't matter.
This comes down to writing then, because Fresh Prince went on for how many? 6 seasons, relying on Will. Good writing supersedes all. I don't care what anyone says about saying, oh, you can't rely on the main character. You gotta give side character. If I feel the main character is not the main character, I'm sorry, that's not a good main character to me. I'm sorry.
The thing is, you do need side characters, right?
Yes, you do.
A show, and this is where I'm saying, Bobby, your argument, like, it could go either way, because you have the versatility, and that can make it a good show, right? There's no superstar that attracts you to the show. It's just like, oh, you went to the show. It's like, oh, that's really good. So Queen Latifah was not a superstar.
Queen Latifah is a superstar.
She wasn't at that moment. She was not. It's not.
Bro, she was an artist before she was ever an actress. That's why she was the star of Living Single, bro. She was a superstar at that time.
You think people knew Queen Latifah then as they do now?
Yes, bro. She was a well-known platinum artist before she was ever an actress, bro. She wasn't just she wasn't like Will, where Fresh Prince was his first show. She was well-known before she ever was on Living Single.
So was Will.
What was Will known for before Fresh Prince?
Rapping. That's why they got him to do.
So Will was known for rapping more than Queen Latifah was before their shows?
No, Bobby.
Okay, no, okay. So don't act like Queen Latifah.
You didn't even let me finish my point. I don't even know where my point is, bro. Now it's gone.
Versatility with side characters.
Nah, it was something else. I was leaving something else. I don't remember.
Give it up, because I'm not convinced. I haven't watched it, but I'm not convinced.
Failure.
That's it.
I would say as my last points, just the points that you said doesn't automatically make it a better show because I feel more connected with Fresh Prince. I watch both shows, but I feel more connected with Fresh Prince. The characters, the moments, it had more impactful moments. So I remember them more. I felt like, oh yeah, I feel like you hear the intro. Don't say the intro, not gas.
It is.
You hear the intro, you already know what's going to pop in. There's Jazz, there's Jeffrey, there's a lot of unique characters. In different situations, basketball games, Carlton throwing lobs from half court. It's just a feel good show that could be people's comfort show, and I think it's still one of the top ones. Not saying Living Single is not. It could very well be a top. We should put up a poll, see what people think. Not just intros, but show in general.
Just overall, forget the intro, y'all. Please forget the intro. Just focus on the show, the characters, the content. Just that.
Do you even know the Living Single theme while you saying this?
No, I mean, I care. Even then, I still no. Because you know why? It's the same thing when you talk about fucking other regular shows or anime. Who cares about the intro? Just talk about the show itself. That's it.
That matter? How? So the intro doesn't matter?
It don't matter as much.
Music is
It
subjective.
don't matter
That's
as
why.
much as you think it matters, Bobby.
So let me ask y'all a question. Y'all? No, I'm just asking a quick question before we wrap it up. Y'all both watched Boondocks, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna act like Boondocks theme was not legendary. It didn't add to the entertainment of the show.
Was good. The show was good. Boondocks could have
the theme is great and the show is ass. Of course,
Boondocks could have a garbage intro, and I'll skip it and wait until the actual show starts because I know it's good.
Listen, I hear both of what they said.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the shows, other shows that were mentioned. I want to make that very fucking clear before these comments or these polls look at me crazy. I love all these shows. I love Fresh Prince, okay? All I'm saying is when you look at the totality of everything about the show Living Single, from the characters to their dynamic, to the positivity of the shows, to their individual development, to the theme as well, when you add all of that together, to me, it is the GOAT of Black sitcoms. It gives you everything that you want in a Black sitcom. Plain and simple. So,
it obviously don't give the impact.
Huh?
It do give impact because the white people had to go off of it. So clearly do have some goddamn impact. They had to steal it.
All right, y'all. So, nice episode.
Thank you guys for watching. As usual, you can follow our socials. You can follow us on Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, smash the like button, and share. If you have any questions or comments, just shoot them. If you want to be a guest on the show, just ask. Yeah, any. Oh, you already said your final thoughts. No more. Anything to say to the audience?
You know what I'm saying? We will put polls up about prove it or lose it based on whoever it is that's making the argument, and you guys will decide if they should proved it or if they should lose it.
All right, now peace.